So it is the summertime, which means not only is it super hot outside, you need to keep yourself hydrated, hopefully not fall in the pool, but then also you get to enjoy one thing that anytime you probably wouldn't. Summertime flicks. Oh man, if you were to ask me a couple of years back, like back in 2015, what I would be watching, I would be watching Nickelodeon original movies. Even during that one time that Nickelodeon would completely shut down the channel because, oh, you need to go outside, play, and touch grass. Great job, Nickelodeon. Anyways, I'm not getting to the main point. I used to watch original Nickelodeon films that were produced and made for the Nickelodeon channel. They would cram a bunch of actors from TV shows like the Thundermans or Henry Danger, cram them into a film to produce an original movie. And two of the ones, which are both summertime flicks, are Splitting Atom and One Crazy Cruise. And that's what I'm talking about today. And hopefully these are not too bad of films, but they are quite insane though. They hate me 'cause my daddy is rich. Now there are a bunch of other movies I remember watching as a kid, whether if it's like Swindle or Jinx, but these two felt like it would be a really good opportunity to talk about because one is the summertime, but then also July feels like a good time to watch a bunch of old Nickelodeon movies I enjoyed as a kid and then see how bad or probably good these films have actually aged. I'm gonna start with One Crazy Cruise, since this was the first one I actually watched as the shorter one of the two, so I feel like that maybe we would be good to start with this one and maybe work our way up to what would be Splitting Atom, even though I know the ship in itself will probably split. I will say both of these films were released in 2015. Splitting Atom came first and then One Crazy Cruise came out after. These roughly had a $5 million budget for both of these movies, but in a way, I mean, it makes a lot of sense since it's Nickelodeon. Also, I'm playing this in the background on my MacBook since, you know, it would probably be a good idea to represent which film I'm talking about, even though there will be chapters, so what's the point of it? Now, the main plot of the film is there's a family, two sides of the family that don't get along, mostly the kids who don't get along. They're heading onto a cruise to represent a video game for a company to showcase a video game that the dad had been working on, which is strange because why would you want to show a video game on a ship? Whatever. This is Nate, this is Ellie, this is Cameron, and this is Piper. These are the main kids that we need to focus on. It's mainly the thing of the kids do not get along. The mother side and the dad sides cannot get along.
It's time for us to come together as a family. Jensen's and the Bowers are now the Jensen Bowers.
The clashing would still continue when they would get on the ship, including one scene that has the two sides of the family members falling into a pool with liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen is in the pool!
Side note, why would you stay in a pool full of liquid nitrogen even though everybody else is clearly knowing that this shit will freeze your ass off?
It's the shallow end, Ellie.
Now the family would stay in one room together. There would be certain details like, oh, where the dad's iPad is, or I'm sorry, Ziggy Pad as they would like to call it.
Iceberg! It's the password to the safe. My ZigPad's in there and it is completely off limits until after the presentation.
Piper decides it would be a good idea to steal her own mother's piece of jewelry to wear out, which even though it's wrong, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to have that, which Ellie is very much aware of this.
Whoa, where'd you get that?
Borrowed it from Mom.
Then why are you taking it off?
So she doesn't see me in it.
Duh.
I'll just throw it on later.
They would go out for dinner, including going into a little bit of a magic show, which I just wrote down here, which is called Indescribable Pearls.
Boxers or briefs.
Now, the four stepbrothers and sisters would be called up to be up for hypnosis. Now, unfortunately enough, as much as that Nate loves to brag that he can't be hypnotized,
I'll go. It's not like you can penetrate this steel trap anyway.
they get hypnotized.
And concentrate on the sound of my voice. As you listen, you'll find your eyelids getting heavier. From now until sunrise, I want you to imagine that you're a bunch of plundering pirates at sea.
They wake up the next morning, fully confused what the hell is happening. The leg is just on fucking Ellie's arm for some reason, handcuffed there. And then Nate wakes up in the purple liquid for some reason.
Morning.
What is that stuff? Seriously, guys, what is going on?
Here's the things that they did. They took the dad's iPad, so that's one thing that's gone wrong. They stole the prosthetic leg from the dad's boss, who ended up being the CEO of the Ziggy Pad company. which is great. Fill an entire bathtub with purple liquid for some reason. I mean, of course they realize that the iPad is gone while it's in the floor of their own room, and then check the safe to find a glove instead of the actual iPad. They go into the closet to find a sea lion.
Why is there a seal in our closet?
In the...
I guess that means he likes you?
Well...
Well, there's no accounting for taste.
Actually, he appears to be an excellent judge of character.
Nickelodeon slime.
I didn't know this was Jackass.
Now take note, they're trying their best to not get caught by not only their parents, but then also security as well, because obviously they have security camera footage to prove that they have done these crimes. Of course, they're trying to piece everything together from how the fuck did we get a sea lion in our room? Why the fuck did we do so-and-so thing? And just trying to find the iPad and so much going on. And okay, you have to also add in as well, they tried throwing in 2 or actually 3 romantic interests. 2 of them aren't explained. And 1 of them is just straight up confusing. Like, all the pieces start to form together. Nate starts going back to normal from, like, basically having his entire skin just turn purple. The lore just slowly trying to build itself up with, like, romantic interest as well that just makes no sense. When it comes down to the end of the film, they finally find the iPad. Well, it comes down to somebody knocking it down and breaking the screen, which, why couldn't you just demonstrate it with the cracked screen?
Dr. Bragg isn't just gonna fire me. He's gonna light me on fire.
I gotta love this as well, because to stall the entire presentation as well, they would do a musical number.
The pumpkin beavers are to blame, and the mayhem and mischief are to aim.
Okay, they must have gotten fired for this, right?
You were all terribly disappointing. You'll probably all get fired in the morning. Enjoy the rest of your cruise.
Oh, thank God. At least they're being realistic with the film. No, I don't know, saying that it's like the best performance. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they would break into a musical number. They did get the presentation to work thanks to like Cameron's little DS thing that they would use. Of course, the boss is somewhat appreciative, but still wants to fire everybody in the morning, and then that's generally the main end of the plot. Of course, they tried throwing a few romantic interests as well, like you have Piper who fell in love with this like white waiter guy. You have Nate falling in love with this other guy's sister who, well, Cameron tried fighting throughout the film somewhat, but Ellie is the most confusing. Now, I'm gonna just say that we got Cody Simpson as a cameo in this movie. Remember that one text message I showed in that film? That was Cody Simpson. Yeah, it's weird that Ellie decided to go up to the helipad where Cody Simpson was supposed to take off and then just scream into a microphone to get his attention, and then somehow they just kiss with no romantic interest whatsoever.
Didn't already notice I do have a helicopter.
What the hell happened the night before that basically made that happen? Like, to me, that's just really confusing in a way. Like, this film does not make as much sense on paper and even in practice. First off, like, the film in itself, well, obviously we have really bad CGI, whether if it's the ship or the sea lion. Like, some of the plots don't make as much sense. Like, having Piper try to get a piece of jewelry back that her mother owned really quite make as much sense, and they're very small plot points. Like, they're not really that important to the main story whatsoever. Like, if it was just the kids trying to find the iPad, it would honestly probably be just like a 20-minute film at best. Like, there wouldn't be that much to add on to it, but because they tried ranging this into an hour, it's just bad writing. Like, the security guard wasn't even that interesting whatsoever. You'd had the security guard trying to make sure and even prove that the kids were not innocent whatsoever, but then you got the guy who hypnotized her to become a chicken. Also, that's another thing I just realized as well, the plot twist, the hypnotist guy was also the clown in the film. The acting was fine. It wasn't great, but it was okay. I only really recognize Benjamin and Kara in this film from Hatchet Hathaways and The Thundermans. This film had wasted potential. The plot is somewhat interesting, but it's just wasted throughout the film. Like, it was executed terribly. It felt like it was like too fast but too slow as well. The Cody Simpson plot device was nothing to really say about. I mean, random cameo, I guess, but it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you have a romantic device when there's nothing, no plot or no possible lore to understand why Ellie would even fall in love with Cody Simpson? I'm gonna rate this film 1.5 out of 10 because this is just the worst Nickelodeon film I've rewatched recently. There's probably another one that's even worse than this, but that's just for now.
Okay, what did we think of the film?
Oh my god, it was one of the worst. It was one of the worst. I'm not gonna lie.
It's ass.
It is
It's
so
bad.
bad. It is hilariously bad, though.
It is super bad.
It is so much fun to make fun of, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That was terrible. That was genuinely terrible.
Now, unlike One Crazy Cruise, Splitting Adam is something that I actually did somewhat enjoy. Of course, I watched this one with my friends as well, so it's...
What the hell is a splitting atom?
You. It's exactly what it's supposed to.
Yes, this stars the glamorous Jace Norman, Jack Griffo, and Isabella Moner in this film. This film would be released February of 2015, so roughly about 5 months before One Crazy Cruise would come out. I honestly say this film did not waste its potential as much as people want to say.
Okay, fine, it's amazeballs.
The main character is Adam. He's very busy. He's got a dog walking business. He's got his water park job, lawn mowing business, and he's got to take care of his sister with like karate classes and ballet, which, why does your sister have to do so much?
Some days, I feel like a punching bag.
The main point is Adam is very busy. Very, very busy, in fact. Like, there's too much going on. His jobs, and he barely has any free time as it is. This causes Adam to clash in a lot of areas and moments that he misses. He's somewhat in love with Lori, but obviously you've got Vance, who is basically the hot shot of the water park. Of course, has his own car, which okay, that's fun.
I drive.
Now, Adam's parents go out of town and have Uncle Mitch keep an eye on the kids. He's a magician, right? But somehow he brings a tanning bed with him, which, well, of course he can't lug around himself and put it in the garage, so he has 2 kids do manual labor.
I'm going to make this miracle of not-so-modern technology go from this van to that garage for your efforts, kind gentlemen. Chop, chop.
But hold on a second. This is no ordinary tanning bed, though, as Adam would find out when his friends would decide, hey, let's go play hide and seek with the sister, proceeds to leave her for 2 hours, and then they decide to look for her. Adam falls into this tanning bed in the garage after the sister would scare the hell out of him and then force him to be cloned for no apparent reason whatsoever, even though he didn't activate the device manually.
Party's over.
He pops out of the machine, just mostly tired, heads to the bedroom and passes out on the floor, waking up in bed for some reason and finds another version of himself in the same bed.
Did you know we talk in our sleep? All right. Oh. Am I that bad?
Now, Adam's friends would find out about the clone, but not in the best way possible because Adam just suddenly walks up. The normal Adam, by the way, scares the hell out of him, and he has to try to explain how this is possible, and it turns out it's the tanning bed that ended up cloning him. Everybody wants to just be cloned, apparently, and they're like, oh, let's get cloned.
Who's gonna be next?
Damn, bro. You're a bunch of assholes. Now, as much as they're scared that Mitch would notice that something's off with the other Adam, it doesn't come up. And in fact, it actually comes down to actually going to his benefit because, well, Mitch thinks that it's just the normal Adam. One of the friends would be like, hey, why don't you be in 2 places at once, including, well, making sure to mow the lawn, but then also being at Waterpalooza, the meeting, so and so thing. And, well, Adam thinks that's a good idea.
I can't miss the morning staff meeting at Crash and Splash.
Only you can be in 2 places at once.
Half only.
One piece of lore that apparently came up with Adam, and I hate the fact that they brought this up.
You can barely keep your shorts on. Need I remind everyone of last summer's lifeguard test, the filter incident?
Why would you bring up an incident last year of Adam losing his shorts while training? Gross. just gross. As they would make it home, Adam's friend and Adam would find out that they actually made multiple clones. Well, actually one extra clone, which ended up being a bit like a caveman, like... No, not that caveman. This caveman.
Okay, don't be mad, but I crunched the numbers, and in order for us to expand our lawn business, we're gonna need a full-time employee. Fortunately, mistakes were made, lessons learned, and to make a long story short, a copy of a copy.
So they decide, why not make multiple clones? So we had one that's poetic, and then another one that's a party guy. And, well, they decide, why don't we make a plan to try to get Lori? Having separate Adams in separate different places, like have the smart Adam help out with the water park, have the caveman, out of all people, to help the sister out, have the party one just be there for Lori, which doesn't go well. Alright, while I'm here, I want to have a side note. How many licensed songs did Nickelodeon use for the movie? Like, really, if you watch Splitting Adam and know what the film is like, you would know that there's multiple songs in between, well, 2014 and so thing, like Calvin Harris's Summer, Wake Up from a Busy, and then Birthday by Katy Perry, which is shown in this scene. Like, the music licenses are insane in this movie. Like, for some reason, there's so many that come up in this film. Like, if you watch the film, it feels like every, 10 minutes you'll hear another song. Or, well, actually, it's multiple songs at once. Oh, that poor cake. Also, poor Lori, she didn't deserve that at all. The very next day, they have another game plan and decide, hey, why don't we try to get that lunch date with Lori that she was supposed to do with Vance? Obviously, Lori is pissed at Adam for smashing her face in a cake. Do you know how they get on her good side? Yeah, jumping in the pool and having a choreographed moment. Obviously, the plan is to distract Vance from getting to that lunch, which of course using the party dude, and then getting the poetic Adam to meet with Lori and serving her some food that ends up being a multiplication of multiple different foods at once in the same sandwich, which, great idea, Adam. Vance gets to the table, smashes his own face into the food, and then turns out Lori got food poisoning.
I'll go with you. I don't feel so good. She's never gonna talk to me again.
Yeah. That's another kill count for Lori. Now, Lori starts to fall a little bit for Henry Danger. I mean, Adam. She would start to fall a little bit for Adam, and it takes a little bit of time for her to be like, to understand Adam a little bit, even though there's multiple clones with different personalities. And it would get worse because, well, Adam decided, hey, why don't we make a perfect version to try to get on Lori's side?
Who's gonna move me?
Well, that resolves with, Vance getting kicked off of the lifeguard. He gets pissed about the perfect Adam taking over his spot, leaves Lori, and meanwhile, while he's on his shift, Adam decides to take Lori home, and somehow it's still sunset.
What's going on with you, Adam? Every time I see you, you seem like a different person.
Maybe you just don't know me well enough.
Okay, that's really confusing.
Well, we do need to talk Splashapalooza.
7 o'clock then?
Sounds
perfect.
Adam goes to the dinner. It's just the regular Adam. He's extremely nervous because it's a so-and-so date. And, well, it kind of goes wrong when his sleeve would just get ripped off by the perfect Adam, which, yeah, thanks, bro.
You want to get out of here?
Adam explains how he's not good at a bunch of things. Meanwhile, the other Adams are just proving him wrong and contradicting his own lore.
Truth is, I'm not even that good of a swimmer. I failed the lifeguard test 3 years in a row.
Well, he decides to take Lori to the water park, which, why the fuck would you want to go to the place you work at all the time? Why not just take her to someplace else? Okay, maybe I'm going a bit too fast here. The perfect Adam gets pissed that the date is going so well. He assumes that it's not the right way to go with the date, which is dumb because he doesn't understand how the date should go. Now, of course, this starts to make the perfect Adam a little bit pissed, slightly pissed. Of course, this entire thing, you've got multiple Adams in multiple different places. You've got one at karate, you've got one helping out with Lori, you've got one helping out the musician, you've got, so many at once. But, I mean, it works out in the favor, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong that could happen, right? Well, almost. The perfect Adam starts to turn against even the team. Why not just scare Vance? JV Vance.
You obviously don't realize who you're dealing with, Vance.
Oh yeah? tell me, who exactly is that?
All of us.
Let's use the clothes to scare the shit out of Vance and make him leave and make him not the headliner at all at the fucking Waterpalooza. That works out in the favor very well. In fact, it actually fires one of Adam's friends when the dude is confronted.
Where's Handsome going? He had better get back here pronto. He has a show to play tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's not gonna be coming back.
Well, he's got 3 hours to find me another headliner, or he's fired.
Now, everything is going decently well. Until the neat Adam, or the smart Adam, actually realizes the tanning bed is actually not a tanning bed at all. In fact, it's a cloning device that's not made for humans.
Warning, not for use on humans.
Fuck! After the perfect Adam and the other ones come back, the news has to be broken.
Vance won't be giving us any problems from here on out. Right now, Vance is the very least of our problems.
Fuck this, I am gonna make it so we can't go back to the days of when it's just one Adam. We needed to have every Adam as possibly as we can.
Where's Vance? Shouldn't he be setting up?
That's what I've been calling about. There is no Vance.
Lori finds out about Vance's absence, gets the normal Adam to help out. She goes to Adam's house, finds out about the mess, finds out about the clones because, well, the clones in itself come out. She blames every single Adam that decided to do and basically almost fuck her over.
You smashed cake in my face. And you read me poetry and then gave me food poisoning.
They also found out that the cloning machine is not made for humans. They found out through a video of, well, the first one ended up explaining the clones and the actual abilities to be able to feel the same pains. The second video as well ends up explaining the so-and-so side effects of the cloning machine, which ends up being like a rash, the so-and-so dizziness and the tiredness, and then most severely, death.
This is our only hope. Professor Lloyd signing off, possibly for the last time.
Mitch also finds out about the clones as well, which ends up being his advantage. And then they also find out that the tanning machine is broken with the main component as well. Now, happily, they do have a plan. They have a plan to somehow get the tanning machine working, the cloning machine. And happily, the only way you can do this is going 37 miles per hour. Yeah, you're gonna need a car for that. They head back to the water park, get Mitch onto the stage with the clones, which ended up helping out a lot because it ended up helping him go viral later in the movie. Pretty much end of the movie. Yeah, the perfect Adam got a hold of Lori first before the regular Adam could. Yeah, not good. It's also a thing as well where Mr. Adam got hit in the joints.
You have to kick me.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, great one. That must have hurt. It must have hurt really bad.
In the plums.
Lori runs off with the big tank of energy that she has and runs to the main slide where they set up the tanning bed with the perfect Adam following her and almost making her die. Yeah, never kill Cal on that one. Vance and the regular Adam get into a bit of a clash where they almost make into a fight, but then, of course, Vance realizes that the Adam that he's supposed to be fighting is the perfect Adam. Well, he somewhat gets on Adam's good side, maybe. Adam has to go up because Mr. Vance is too scared to go high. Pussy.
Yeah, right. That's, really high up there. Maybe you should take this one, bro.
Speaking Vance, do you remember that time where you were near a fucking Sharknado and died for your own safety? The regular Adam and the perfect Adam get into a small fight. Of course, Lori somehow gets herself up even though she could have potentially have died. Just gets into the water slide and giving the little tank of energy, throwing it by the way. The fight doesn't end well. The perfect Adam gets to go into the tank and then just disappears into the machine, while the regular Adam nearly goes into the machine himself, but happily all of the other Adams help out. All the Adams give their goodbyes, they head into the tank, and then it's just the perfect ending. Actually, not even the perfect ending, I guess.
Adam, there is one more thing I really have to know.
They somehow clean the house up. Adam thinks it's a dream, which it's not. Mitch leaves to, like, go on to Vegas and gives the tank of energy to Adam. Lori meets up with Adam to head to the water park, which I think they're just boyfriend and girlfriend at this point, I guess. Oh yeah, the sisters also duplicated themselves as well. Yeah, I guess who's dying tonight? Now, Splitting Atom was not quite as bad as One Crazy Cruise. It was actually far better than it. Now, the plot in itself was done decently in this film. I may have not explained it well, but hopefully, well, comment down below if I did explain it good. I thought the plot was done pretty well in this film. It wasn't like bad, but some moments it felt like it was way too fast for its own good. Some of this stuff was not explained along the way, like how so-and-so things were done. Most of the time it was passable enough to be like, okay, you understand the lore of so-and-so thing, and, well, yeah, it helps. I think the three main actors, Jack Griffo, Jace Norman, and Isabella Moner, did pretty well in this movie as it is. I didn't think they were bad in this movie, and I think I would rather to see them again in a film together. Some of the tension that was added in the film felt like it was a bit too ridiculous to add on to. Like, it didn't feel like that the tension was actually worth it to look at without being like, it's not bad, but it wasn't great either. I think the one thing to me that's pretty insane is all of the music that they used for the film, which again, they had a huge list. This is just the list of songs and music that they used for Splitting Atom, which most of the time they don't use that much for like movies and TV shows, unless it's like something bigger, and even then, that's very, very rare. Some scenes were unnecessary to add on to, like the whole incident.
You can barely keep your shorts on. Need I remind everyone of last summer's lifeguard test, the filter incident?
Like, I get it, it's for comedic effect, but in some way it's not, it doesn't age very well. If this film was directed by Dan Schneider, it would actually age a lot worse. But either way, I say Splitting Atom is a decent enough film. It passes off to be like a film, like if you're bored one night, you could actually watch it without feeling like there's too much going on. Gets a 5 out of 10. It's good enough. It's not the best film. It's actually the better Nickelodeon film as well. Like, there are films that kind of add on to it, but don't quite, they're not as bad. Splitting Atom is like one of the ones that is mid at best, and honestly, you could pass it off. Like, I enjoyed this movie the second time I actually watched it. I actually watched it like a couple months ago to rewatch it again. It was actually okay at best. What do you guys think of One Crazy Cruise and Splitting Atom? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully we could get some good discussion going. So I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this little video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm hoping to review possibly Jinx and Swindle soon, so that'll be a bit of a interesting one to do. Comment, like, subscribe. I hope that all of y'all enjoyed this longer video on these two movies, and I'll see you guys later when I talk about the Z Flip again. Bye!